Welcome to the Aura Reading Podcast, where I do the aura readings and you get the guidance and insights. Today is our very first aura reading podcast episode, which I'm so excited for. But if you've discovered this episode or the following ones, then the messages it contains, they are meant for you. Whether or not this reading was done on your aura, the messages it contains are for you. And if you'd like to get an aura reading featured on my podcast or even a private one, feel free to check out the links down below. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram for more juicy content on all things aura. Today, our special guest is Lacey, and we're going to dive straight into the guidance. So let's start with your higher self guidance. The colors that I see for you are orange, hot pink, and grayish, almost black. So let's start with this darker color and see what it is. Black, when it comes to aura colors, is very much related to having power over matter. It's related to manifestation, essentially. So when I open this color, what I see is this image of you at the bottom of a canyon, but it's dark. The rocks are dark, and I just see it's very windy, and there's these black dust particles floating in the air and being dragged by the wind towards you, but you are not afraid of it. You are actually just trying to enjoy the wind on your face, and you have your arms wide open and your eyes closed, just like you were on a sunny day, enjoying the good weather. And you're not afraid because, well, this is actually a little difficult to explain this image, so bear with me for a second. But where the particles meet your aura, in front of your face, basically, it's like it activates your aura, and your aura sparkles light. So imagine the wind blowing and pushing all these particles towards you, the front of your aura, and your aura lighting up. It almost creates a shield, a protective shield in front of you. And if the wind blows harder and more of these dust particles come rushing your way, this light around your aura just expands and extends, and expands towards your back, creating these light projections, and it almost looks like you're a butterfly. Okay, so my sensation from this image is, no matter how much you might be struggling right now in your life, or things might not seem clear, or it might feel like you're at the bottom of a canyon right now, just know that you have this protective shield all around you that is made of light, and you are made of grace and bliss. It's the essence of your energy. And when these particles are coming at you, you are not afraid or watching out for them or responding, whether they're going to come your way or which direction they're going to come from. No, your whole focus is surrendering and opening the heart. How can I love more? Is what you keep asking. So your message here is, whenever, right now or soon, because when we read the energy here on the higher self, it either means that it is happening right now or is starting very soon. And when you feel that you're in this space that you can't see clearly, you can't understand things clearly, you don't know exactly what to do, when everything seems darker, you need to ask yourself, how can I love more? How can I expand my heart more? How can I shine more? It is not by focusing on what is outside of you that you will navigate these waters, okay? The whole focus needs to be turned inwards onto you. Now, as you do this, your aura further expands and more light sparks, and it sparks so much in these sort of light projections that look like wings become bigger and bigger. When I look at it, it almost feels like you're a fairy. So it does give me this sensation that there might be elemental beings with you right now, and it almost feels like integration onto your energy that's happening at this moment. And this energetic integration that is coming through the elemental forces, which could be fire, earth, water, and air, this integration will help you master further manifestation, because that's the color that we were seeing here for these images. So I feel that the frequencies of the elements that are coming from you are air and water. When you think about air and water, when they find an obstacle, they don't just push to move it. They also flow around it, right? There's imagine the wind is blowing, there's a rock in front of the wind. The rock will stop the wind will keep pressing to try and make that rock move, but it also will flow around it. And the same thing happens with water. And I feel that these two elements right now are going to help you so very deeply in integrating these lessons of gentleness, yet at the same time having lots of power behind it. Because if you think about water can be very gentle. But, we all know that the tide can turn and water can become very magnificent and empowered, and it will make its will happen. Okay. Now, I feel this is something that's coming for you in terms of manifestation. Like you will integrate this energy of, I can be gentle, I can flow around obstacles, that these obstacles don't have to slow me down because I have this shield of light, I'm protected. I just focus on how I can expand love. And therefore I'm able to move and I'm able to flow around the obstacles in my life. Yet at the same time, we all know that no matter how gracious we are, sometimes life throws a curveball and we get triggered, and in some moment we need that toughness and that assertiveness and that power that the water can carry to make yourself understood, to make yourself be seen, to set a boundary, to make sure that you are directing the flow of energy and not the people around you, or not the circumstances around you, or not these black particles all around you. Okay, you are in control. So this water element brings this into your present moment right now. In the air frequency, it brings the capacity to amplify and the capacity to have this softness. If you feel a gentle breeze on your skin, it's that kind of softness that I feel the air is bringing for you right now. Now, these are not the exclusive lessons or integrations that these frequencies are bringing you, but I do feel these ones very deeply for you right now. Okay, so if you feel called to work with the elements, right now would be a good time to connect with them, call them into your life, be conscious about what they're showing you and how they're helping you navigate, and even ask for guidance as you're moving along your journey. But as of right now, it just feels like you are getting a big integration, big upgrade that allows you to stand in your own power, in your own uniqueness, having the focus on yourself and on love and surrendering to life's circumstances, yet with the gentleness and softness and the willpower to direct the energy towards where you want it to be. Now remember, there always needs to be the awareness that there is thy will, the universe's will, and there is your personal will, right? So your personal will coming from a wounded ego, and thy will coming from your higher power. So make sure to keep tuning in for what is your higher power suggesting you to go for. Where is it directing you? Because ultimately, if we stop for a second to listen to the wounded ego, and if we truly listen to where we really, really want to go, where our higher power really wants us to flow towards. At the end of the day, that's what we really desire to. So we just need to learn to silence a little the ego, or listen past that wounded ego. And that wounded ego will come up. Okay, so I'm just going to move through all the rest of the colors here because I feel the message is connecting from one to the other. Now, this wounded ego needs some of your love and some of your attention. It is not something to heal. It is not something to fix. It is not something to overcome, but rather it is something to show love for. It's something to understand. The parts of our ego that are creating thoughts and circumstances and patterns onto our lives that we don't love are wounded parts of us. And we should never focus on fixing it. Because if you try to fix it, you're trying to run away from it. Instead, you need to embrace it. You need to accept it. And you need to love so much this aspect of you that with that love, you will transform it. And as I was saying this, I was also hearing that not only you need to love it, but you need to surrender to it. Okay? You don't fix anything unless you're able to fully dive into it in order to transform it from within. And I feel that there's a moment in your life right now where you're going to be asked to really dive within your wounded ego and show it love. This is a time to be very compassionate for yourself. You might come across circumstances where you speak without thinking, and that in that moment you're able to see your wounded ego pop up and say things that normally you wouldn't say, or things that you're not proud of, or having some type of action that you're not proud of. But it's time to have that gentleness, that patience with yourself, that love for yourself, so that you can transform this aspect of you. And when you do that, it will further help you master the manifestation. Because when there's a wounded ego, there's resistance towards looking at it, because it's painful. You have to look at aspects of yourself that you don't really like. So there's a certain theme of avoidance here. But in order for you to master the state of being that I was just describing, you need to master everything that's inside of you. Okay, so this is a moment for self-mastery, but I do feel it comes with challenges around the ego. And life might be attracting some circumstances to you right now that will challenge your ego, or will push your buttons, and you will have to relearn how to respond and re-engage in life from a different perspective and a different point of view, so that you do not fall into these old patterns of the wounded ego. Okay, so obviously there's always multiple things happening at the same time, and everything is connected. But as you are working through this ego situation, you're also resolving a lot of the patterns that are connected to it. And I feel that there will be a lot of trigger points. So you might be going through a stage in your life that for the next 2 to 3 months, you will feel people constantly pushing your buttons. I want you to try and remember, maybe you can come back to this reading, but I want you to try and remember that it serves a higher purpose. And the higher purpose is that you fully embody yourself, that you master energy and you master manifestation in your life, so that you get to live the physical experience, the abundance, the prosperity, the goodness that you've been praying for. Okay? So it's part of the process. And first you're going to have to go through this triggering stage, and then the beautiful stage will come along. Okay. The other message that's showing up here is around the intensity of emotion. Not only is related to experiencing the good moments in life, but it's the reminder that you get to experience the good moments in life, whether you are at the bottom of the canyon and you can't see where you're going or what you have to do, or whether someone just came, into your personal space in the morning time and pushed your buttons. You need to break free from all of these circumstances that in the past would dictate your emotional state, and you need to learn how to detach from what was just happening and direct the emotions within you to be what you want. Let me try and explain it and phrase this better. A lot of the times when somebody triggers you or when life isn't going well, we tend to look outside, and if things aren't good, if people aren't being nice and kind to us, then we feel bad because of them. We are responding to what they are doing by allowing ourselves to be in the same frequency that they showed up with. Okay. Now, mastering manifestation and mastering your own personal state and embodiment is a lot about mastering your emotional state as well. So when somebody comes along and triggers you or pushes your buttons, or your day doesn't flow as you would like it to flow, you need to learn how to put a stop to the responding to the external circumstance, reset, and literally tune into yourself and say, the emotion I want to feel is fun, excitement, love. And then you use your mind to consciously connect to a memory that has those emotions for you. So you can benefit a lot from being super aware of your emotions, okay? And focusing on constantly rewiring those emotions. I feel this is perhaps the most important part of the work that needs to be done for you right here, right now. Okay. So just know that everything that is happening in your life in this moment is in some way something that you need to transform or understand in order to become that embodiment that you've been asking for, the embodiment of love, the embodiment of prosperity, the embodiment of abundance, and experiencing all of that in your life. Okay. So whatever happens in your life right now for the next, I feel 3 to 6 months, just ask yourself, how is this circumstance related to showing me something or teaching me something or making me understand something towards becoming that state of being and therefore mastering manifestation. Okay. So give me just a second to cleanse all of this. Okay. I feel your soul wants me to have a look at your alignment. The sensation that I have over here is, imagine you're a flower and you're blossoming, and then sometimes you get a little shy and your petals start to close down again, but then there's like this ray of sunlight, and then you feel like life is good and you open up again. But then I just feel that there's people and circumstances around you that make you feel like it's not okay to open up all of this beauty that you have to the world. I don't feel they're doing this from a bad place to try to control you or dim your light or anything like that. I just feel they're on their personal journey, but when you look at them and their behaviors and the things that they say, you interpret those things as, I am being too much, or I shouldn't shine as much, I shouldn't be as pretty, as beautiful, because you're comparing yourself to them. And this comparison does not exist at higher frequencies, which is the frequency state you're trying to embody in order to master manifestation. Because at those higher frequency states, there is no duality. There is no me versus you, and therefore it can't be compared. Okay. So when you feel these, the words that are coming to me are energetic constraints and contractions. It's like your flower closes, you close up, you try to shine a little less, you try to not say too much, you try not to speak as much, you try not to be as loud, you try not to be as fun. You need to remember that it is through being that person that you are authentically that you will become this embodiment that you're seeking, that your prayers will be answered. Okay. So it is also a moment for you to let go of all the beliefs that you have around not being able to fully embrace your authentic self. Okay? I feel these come from your childhood, but they've also been building up in recent years. Okay, but honestly, the sensation that I have is that this will be very easy for you to let go of, because a lot of these beliefs are stories that you told yourself through interpreting the world through a certain lens and through comparison with other people. And so you need to understand that you cannot be compared to others because you are unique. And because you are so beautifully unique, and you carry that vibrant energy that's going to allow you to master manifestation, but you have to fully open up to it. And allowing yourself to be raw and authentic and shine too much and be too loud and say too much, whatever that is for you, you have to let it happen in order to embody that full authenticity that you are and that you are craving. Okay, so there's a duality here, because as much as you want to create and manifest that abundance and prosperity for your life, you also resist doing the one thing that will get you there, which is fully embrace this authenticity. It's you have this radiant energy that you walk into the room and you light up the entire room. You lift everyone's vibration in that room. But when you walk in trying to close your petals a little bit and not saying as much, not shining as much, not lighting up as much, then you are not fulfilling your purpose by walking into that room. You are limiting yourself. So as much as you want to achieve that manifestation step, you are also limiting it. Okay? So just set your intention that you no longer want to do that, and that will help you move past it. I also hear that you're telling yourself a lot of I don't and I can't. I cannot do this. I cannot do that. I am not able to. Okay? This is just programming in your mind running on autopilot. I feel like you just need to become more conscious of it, and every time it happens, you redirect it towards I can do this other thing, or yes, I can do that thing, and you're just repeating scenarios from the past in there, or you're just repeating something that you heard others say about you. I feel it's a full time for you to the image that I have, it's almost like a cartoon where you have your arms crossed and then suddenly you open up your arms and you scream and you push your aura out and you push other people's energies out. It's a moment where you say, I do not allow and I do not accept other people's energy to influence me and to limit me. Not only because they might be trying to, but also through your interpretation and your perspective on the things that you're seeing out there into the world. So another guidance point that's coming through for you is grab pen and paper and write down what does this embodied version of you look like? How do you think? How do you act? What do you focus on? This will give you some clarity around the differences between where you stand and where you want to go, okay? And it will make it very clear for you that there are certain things that you will no longer be accepting into your life. And I feel this is about behaviors of some people around you. I don't feel you take it too personally, but energetically it is impacting you. I just feel that there's lack of boundaries, there's mean comments, there is a little bit of gossip, there's some of these lower energies around you, through the people around you, and your way of dealing with it is trying to establish a boundary, but rising above it, rising your frequency. And that is great because you're taking an opportunity to work on yourself rather than responding to what is external. But if this continues to happen, which I feel it has continued to happen, you need to reestablish a boundary or realign to a new frequency, meaning not being around those people so much, because it's counter it's not counterintuitive. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like you are raising your vibration, you're doing all of this work, and then you meet these people and they do this not so nice comments, and it drops your vibration, and you don't say anything about it because you don't want to engage in it, but it dropped you down. So you work on lifting yourself up, and then there's something that brings you down, and it makes you reach this vibrational threshold that you cannot move upwards from because of these little things that are bringing you down. Okay, so it's a great time for you to look at all of these little things that are bringing you down and make it non-negotiable for your energy to thrive. Okay, it could be something simple. It could be that there are, I don't know, cleaning products in your home that you've been thinking about not using anymore because you don't align with the brand, or you want them to be more, chemical free, whatever that is, but you still have them. Well, in this new version of you that is mastering the manifestation and shining through the obstacles in a way to overcome it, do you allow these things? Do you allow mean comments? Do you allow gossip? Do you allow perfumes that you don't like? So why do you have them in your perfume collection? You know what I mean? There's just something breaking from within and becoming a little less flexible in the boundaries with yourself, in the boundaries with this version of you that is emerging. And it can be on the little things and it can be on the bigger things, but it definitely goes around not accepting lack of respect, behaviors, comments, frequencies, objects, chemicals, whatever that is for your life. You really need to take charge of it, but listen to your guidance and not your wounded ego. Okay, and for that is great that you sit in meditation, place your hands on your heart and just feel in your heart what it is that you truly desire, and that what it is that you truly resonate with or that you don't resonate with, and what it is that you are ready and willing to let go of your life. Because I do feel that there's a need here to let go of some things, whether those are perfumes, detergents, or people. Could be habits, could be patterns, could be phrases that you normally say that you're not really proud of or that you're trying to let go of. I just feel you're going to come to a point in time very soon that you will no longer be in the space of, I will try to let it go, but you will just stand your ground and you say, I'm done with it. I'm never saying it again. I'm never using it again. And you make that commitment and you stick with that commitment. And you become very assertive and you become non-flexible, and these things become non-negotiable for you. Okay, so this is you fully standing in your power. And I feel this is very much needed for you to reach where you are trying to get to right now. The last thing that I'm seeing here is a past life, or simultaneous life, let's put it like that, where you are a princess, very beautiful, but I feel that's everything everyone sees about you is the beauty. And it's almost as if they don't let you speak your mind or your opinions. You're just meant to be there and look pretty. And this is one of the reasons why right now you have such a resistance into that beauty that I was seeing of the flower that is blooming. It's because of that, because you don't want to repeat this pattern of people just seeing the beauty and not really looking at what's inside of you, at your content. But I just want to bring it forward to your subconscious and letting you know that right now you can speak. And when you speak, people listen. Whereas in that other lifetime, you were not even allowed to say a word. You just had to literally be silent and pretty. Right now, you're not in that moment of time. You're not in that space. You are able to speak your mind, to speak your truth, and being pretty and speaking your truth are two things that go beautifully hand in hand, because your beauty amplifies what you're saying. Right now, it makes people listen to you even more rather than dismiss what it is that you're trying to say, the message that you're trying to put out there. So another key piece of information for you right now is that by not allowing yourself to stand into this full authenticity of yours, your purpose and your message are being watered down. You're not being able to get your message across because you're not shining vibrantly and authentically as you're meant to. Okay? So ask yourself, how can I shine brighter? How can I expand love? How can I be more authentic in every moment? And these will be the key point focuses that you need to have for the next, I feel 3 to 6 months in your journey, because everything that will be happening right now will be for this purpose. And feel free to come back to this recording and revisit it and refresh your memory for guidance. And that was it for today. Thank you so much, Lacey, for being part of our podcast and allowing us to access your guidance for everyone. And if you're listening to this episode up until now, don't forget to check out the links that I will drop below in case you want to have a private reading or be featured on this podcast. And I will see you on the next episode.